Hello, friends, and welcome to Figure Study, where we appreciate the form in Transformers. Or in this case, we are going back to Young Toys, so not Hasbro's car, not anything like that, not officially Transformers. We are looking at Biklonz, or Biklonz. I think Biklonz is the proper name. Specifically, we are looking at Thunder Guardian, which is a robot that is made up of three primary parts: a bird, a elk, deer, stag thing, and an elephant/mammoth. And speaking of mammoths, these things are really big. I'm actually going to do the size comparison right from the start so that you can get an idea for just why this is going to be a little awkward, because, got Samus right here. And there's Samus next to the three animals that make up Thunder Guardian, and these things are very large. They are very large. But while they are large, they are actually quite sturdy. They're sort of like, just like with the plastic and the ratchets and all that, I would liken it to something like, say, a US equivalent might be like Tonka trucks, if those are even still around. I don't friggin' know, but these things are definitely sturdy, and I absolutely appreciate that. They're also ungodly huge, like I said, and yeah, grab this thing. Ugh, jeez, he's so heavy, he's actually moving his own wing ratchets. So yeah, these things are just very, very large. So we're going to look at the bird first, obviously, mostly because I need to just get him out from on top of the mammoth so I can get to the mammoth eventually. But yeah, this is... I don't know anything about the show other than it's a Korean cartoon for kids, so I don't really know what the deal is with any of this. I noticed that the bird kind of looks a little bit like the center part here, kind of looks like a motorcycle fuel tank, which may have something to do with that. It probably does, but I don't know, so please don't hold that against me. But overall, it's a little bit on the rough side with some of it. Like the wings here, these are a little bit oddly shaped. I mean, this is how I prefer to do it. I think you're actually supposed to have them turned around that way. But I think that looks a little bit more like a bird wing shape to me. But yeah, it's a little bit broken up, but it all kind of facilitates the transformation. There is some nice detail, though. I like these kind of VTOL fan blade looking things on the sides here, and just some nice little molded bits, which you can also see some more over here, and obviously more paint. Yeah, there's a lot of nice little details, even just to the wings here. And on the underside, you can kind of see there's some molded bits in there as well. Not so much going on in the rest of the bird on the underside, but, it's the underside, who freaking cares? But there are some nice little bits of detail here and there, like these jet intakes on the... I don't really think that qualifies as a shoulder, but there's that. There's the exhaust ports on the backs of the wings there. And yeah, overall, it's a little awkward, but I think it needs to be just because of the way it transforms. As far as the bird head goes, I think it looks pretty good. I don't know. I don't know how I feel like the blue, the light blue for the eyes. It's all right, but I don't know. The shade just seems a little off to me. Like, I mean, yeah, it's orange and blue, contrasting colors. It doesn't look bad in that sense, but I don't know. I think the shade could do with either being a little lighter or a little darker. But regardless, overall, good looking bird. If I get the wing out of the way here, you can see there's some more motorcycle sort of fuel tank detail here. And this is actually, it's hard to tell, but this is raised. This is actually like a separate piece of plastic that's like engraved or something, and it's very cool. So yeah, bird, very big. I'm sorry if I'm not getting all of this on camera, but it's difficult because of the way that I had to set all of this up. Anyway, moving on to the elk, stag, whatever. You can see where the bird was number 3, this one is number 5. And since I can't help myself, yes, number 5 is alive. If you don't know where that's from, look it up. I think this is actually my favorite of the three. I like the look of this thing. It's a neat, simple, but nice, clean shape. It's very much, obviously, a deer of some kind. The antlers are an interesting shape, but there is a reason for all that. And yeah, I mean, the eyes, you do kind of lose the eyes. I don't know why those are clear, like translucent blue plastic. It doesn't make any sense to me because while these toys do have sounds, they don't have lights. And since there are no lights, the blue plastic just gets completely lost with the dark from the black and the green. So it's just, you can't even really see the eyes, which is a shame. Don't know why they decided to do that. But overall, I mean, I really like the color scheme on this. The black, yellow, and green primarily, with like a little bit of gray in there. It's nice shades that work nice together. And there are some pretty nifty details throughout. Just like you've got the, you know, there's the molding in here. Silver paint. Another 5 for some reason. Don't know why they needed to have that everywhere, but whatever. I'm sure there's a reason for it. And the back here, there's a reason there's a hole there. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, the top of this even looks a little bit like a motorcycle or bike of some kind, which again probably ties into the whole idea of the show, but I'm not familiar with it, so whatever. Yeah, no, this is a neat guy. I really like how this guy looks. Not much in the way of posability. Like you can kind of bend a hoof here and there. These don't bend, that you can just kind of rotate them a little bit that way. That's about all you can do. You can kind of look up a little bit. You can't really look down. So not really for posing. These are more Super Sentai-like, really, in terms of that kind of stuff. But yeah, number 5, very cool. And then we have number 4, I believe, the Mammoth. Okay, bear with me here. Okay. And yes, okay, the Mammoth is number 4. He is the biggest and heaviest out of the entire group, but he is also very cool. I really like this shade of blue that they've got going here. The orange accents, very nice. Nice use of white and black all throughout. The gray, of course, also works really well. And this thing also has quite a decent amount of molding all over the place. Some of it you don't really see in robot mode, so it's definitely appreciated that they took the time to put some of this like mechanical detail in there, and like exhausts here. Yeah, it's neat. Sorry if I'm getting too close to the microphone. This is just very awkward. Yeah, I like the Mammoth, and interesting thing, when he originally comes, this bit is... come on. There we go. That bit is pushed down, and that looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look bad or anything like that, but I think when you pop it up... pop. There we go. It just completes the look a little bit better, I think, because it gives him that, like, you know, sloped mammoth forehead, and you actually get eyes peeking out there. So, yeah, and again, this guy is also a brick. You can kind of move the trunk around a little bit, but that's about it. Now, I would do a transformation at this point, because there aren't a whole lot of videos of this guy around, but these things are so big and so unwieldy, and my setup is so terrible for that. I'm just going to skip straight to the combined mode. I'm sorry if that bothers anybody. If you need to, you can, you know, look up Biklonz Thunder Guardian, and I'm sure you can find lots of other videos that show the transformations, but I'm just not... I can't. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to, because I'm lazy, and also, it's just going to be a nightmare logistically. So, bear with me for a moment. I will get all 3 of these transformed and combined up. Right, that was a thing. So, here we have Thunder Guardian. I can't even tell if my hand's on camera. Here we have Thunder Guardian all combined up And now there is a bit of parts forming, things like the bird's feet coming off and being attached for hands and things like that. But overall, this guy's really cool. Does have some issues in terms of like his weapons, like his shield and his club, especially that club being too heavy for him to hold in any poses other than just kind of relaxing. But that looks pretty darn cool and imposing to begin with, so, you know, I'm not complaining. You might notice this is actually part of the bird, which unfolds, like butterflies out and becomes the shield, and then of course the mammoth head becomes the club. So let me get these things out of here so we can look at them properly. Just a quick look at the shield there. And this disc is actually not the one that comes with it. This is like an extra thing that you just attach to kind of keep this from unfolding. This came with Cross Attacker. The reason I picked this, I used this one instead of the other one, is because this is red, and red goes with this a lot better than the purple that the other one is. So yeah, that's my toy. I can do what I want. And then here we have the club, which is just the mammoth head straightened out, with the trunk straightened out, the thing pushed in, and like the tusks curled up. It's simple, but hey, whatever. It's a thing for him to hold. Now let me shuffle over here so I can move things again. Okay, so Thunder Guardian. I'm a little closer so we can see some more stuff here, and I think I actually screwed up and I need to... Yeah. I neglected to push the bird head in. Don't know if you could see what I just did, but there you go. I tucked the bird head in there. So yeah, here we have Thunder Guardian, and he is a large fellow. Again, you can kind of see, it's like you can barely see the eyes in there, and it's a shame because they don't light up, so I don't know why they couldn't just be a brighter color that stands out. There are sounds. But again, no lights. I do like that head, though. I think it's pretty cool. It looks like a like a lacrosse helmet almost. Maybe one could even say a bike helmet. Why are you not focusing? Focus. Stop focusing on the backdrop. Focus on the thing. Come on. Come on. Oh, this is annoying. There we go. Apparently I'm going to have to work on manually focusing for the rest of the video. That's going to be fun. Anyway. Yeah, like the head sculpt. It's a little weird how it looks like a bike helmet, but I honestly don't mind that very much. And I like a lot of the nice little details in here, like this sort of mouth guard breather thing on the front there, and the silver gears on the sides. Like the stripe going down the top. Another thing that you may notice is the chest is the stag head, and the antlers actually come together and fold up to make the chest piece, and I think that's really cool. This actually looks really nice. It looks really cool when the chest, like when the antlers come together, and it actually lines up really well with this piece that's actually on the back of the stag's neck, which you don't really see when it's transformed as a stag, but it's neat how it all lines up. And of course, you've got the arms, which are the bird wings, but folded a little differently. And you get, a decent amount of movement on those, but primarily it's, easiest to just have his hands kind of pointing out a bit. I do think it's neat how when you, like this whole assembly kind of twists down when you transform the arms, and I do think it's cool how you get this little added detail that pops in when you do that. And then, of course, there is the lower part. Okay, we are semi-readjusted, and now I'm just gonna Pardon me, buddy. Gonna lift you up here so we can see the mammoth bits down below. How they make these really nice big old boots. This is actually the underside of the mammoth, which is why we didn't see much of this detail before. But I like the pistons, kind of the piston look going here, and these knee pads are not bad. I turn him around, you can see that the bird is basically curled up around his back, and that's totally the back of the mammoth there for the backs of his legs. But yeah, no, Thunder Guardian, very cool. And not tiny, because, of course, for our size comparison, he is a big fella. Not Devastator big, but big. And honestly, he may not be as big as Devastator, but he is weighty. And as I said, you know, he's dense. He's made of solid stuff, so he is not light. When he's combined up, he is not light. So yeah, Biklonz Thunder Guardian, very, very cool figure. Not something that you're going to be getting a lot of posability out of, but just the sheer size and sturdiness and imposing nature of this guy was enough to sell me on it. This is just very cool. And as weird as the color scheme ends up being, where you've got like that green in the center, but then it's mostly yellow, and then the orange arms and the blue legs and pants, it's a weird color scheme, but it works all right for me. I kind of wish there was a little bit more color variation in the pelvis area. Like maybe just add a little bit of green here and there to kind of tie everything together so it doesn't quite look like he's just got a pair of jeans on. But other than that, like the shape of this guy is very cool. The detail is very cool. Again, size, all that good stuff. Very, very cool all the way around. But this is just one of the Biklonz figures. There are, of course, well, technically one more that I have. I don't have any of like the Ursa or I forget the names of the other ones, but like the ones that are like celestial. That's what I'm looking for. Constellations that combine to make a big guy. Don't have any of those because they looked a little floppy to me. But Thunder Guardian, very cool. Very big, very heavy, very sturdy. Very much like this guy. And there is, in fact, one more figure to go with this guy. And then after that, there's a combined mode that makes him even bigger. So we're going to get to that eventually, too. In the meantime, that has been my look at Biklonz Thunder Guardian. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching and sticking with me through this awkward thing. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any combination of those three would make me a happy Rob. And remember, art is heavy, but it's also more than meets the eye.